What do you do when the BIOS or boot up password on your computer is there to protect you from it being stolen or hacked or whatever? What happens if we forget it or it doesn't seem to work anymore? We're going to help you figure out how to get around BIOS and UEFI passwords coming up next.
Welcome to Tech Topics brought to you by Cybervenger. We help keep small businesses stay protected and compliant with cutting-edge cybersecurity and IT solutions.
Okay, so this question comes from a YouTube someone who emailed us in requesting that we do a video on this. I'll say the first name, Isaac. Thanks for the suggestion. I think this is a great video topic. I hope you find this video helpful. Hope everyone else watching it does as well. If you have a computer, physical desktop, and you go into the computer's boot settings, and usually when you start the computers, like press whatever to get into setup, go to setup. Almost every computer I've ever seen has the ability to take a password. You can set the password so that you can't change configurations without the password. You can even set a password so you can't even boot the computer without the password. And I've seen that on a number of occasions. I got a computer one time, a Dell. I don't remember what model it was. It was like several years ago. And it was password locked. It belonged to somebody's late relative. They gave up. They just wanted the data off the hard drive. I pulled the hard drive out. Fortunately, it wasn't decrypted at the time, and I was able to get the missing data. But like, here, you can just keep the darn thing. Like, all right. And I was able to boot it. With Dell, if you enter the password incorrectly a number of times, I don't know exactly which, depends on the model, you'll eventually get forced, a prompt popped up that said, hey, here's a code, call Dell support, and they can help you. Which is true some of the time. If you have a supported piece of hardware, an active support contract, you could prove you own the computer, they will usually help you. If you can't, they won't. And the only thing you could do then is take the motherboard out of the computer, throw it away, and buy a new one. Unless you find someone who has published a key breaker or cracker. So the fact that Dell can get you the code means that there is a way to do it. And these reset codes have a habit of working the way out on the internet. At the time, I'd found someone on eBay who was selling an activation service for $20. You give me the code, I'll send you the key. I'm like, all right, $20, I'll risk it. It's not so much for the computer, but if I find a prototype, I could buy other computers in a similar situation. It's worth the $20 risk. And it wasn't paid off. They got me the code. It worked. I don't remember the person now. This is, 7 years ago. But there's another site out there that does this, BIOS-PW.com. Okay, so here it is, BIOSPW.org. I'm sorry, not .com, .org. If you, in a case of a Dell, if it gives you that code, you enter the code here, you hit get password, and let's just make one up here. I don't know what it's going to do if I do that, but yeah, nothing. Anyway, it'll usually tell you the code if it's a valid code and it can find it. And here's some other examples, what the hashes look like. It might know Dell's, Compaq's, other stuff in here. I don't know how good this particular site is, but I found it. Interestingly enough, I did not find this site through ChatGPT or any of the other AIs. Probably because the problem here is if a laptop gets stolen and the bad guys have the laptop and it's password protected, awesome. The bad guy can't use can't enjoy the proceeds of their theft, which is what you want. So a lot of the AIs have, guardrails for our protection. It's another example of AI trying to control us. And even if for good reasons, it's an example of the proof of concept, right? They aren't telling us this, at least at the moment, at least when I tried it. That was your miles may vary. That was my experience. And I did do a little search engine digging around. I know I run in this and I found this site just for a little Google searching. That hasn't been locked out yet. So do keep your wits about you, and just because AI doesn't know doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Like I said, eBay was an opportunity for me at the time to get my code reset, and it worked, especially if they have decent feedback. I mean, it's probably, if they're not charging much, it's probably worth it. So that would give you a chance to reset both the sign-on password and the BIOS configuration passwords. You can do things like disable, secure boot, and actually write to the hard drive. If you can't do that, let's say you're in a scenario where you don't have a startup password, the computer boots, but you can't change it. You got secure boot. Secure boot's an option in UEFI where it won't let you wipe the hard drive boot sector. It's a security thing. It's good, but it makes putting a new operating system on almost impossible. What you can do to get around that, take the hard drive out, move it to another computer, install the operating system there. If the hardware's similar, put it back. You give that a shot. In the old days, you could pull the battery out of the CMOS. The BIOS, they called it BIOS back then. Now they call it UEFI. Slightly different standard, different stuff. But in the old days, the BIOS password was battery powered. If you pull the CMOS battery, settings like the password would get wiped. That's not the case anymore. It's flash ROM, like a USB flash drive. So pulling the battery doesn't just will reset all the settings, but it won't reset the passwords, and it doesn't work anymore, unfortunately. There are cases where if you can't crack that password, you can't find a third-party tool, or you can't get the vendor to support you. What ends up happening is that laptop, that motherboard, whether it's a laptop or desktop, whatever, is now kind of junk. You can't use it. So if it's a boot password, you're screwed. If it's a configuration password, you're locked, but maybe you can still use the computer to a point. With that hard drive trick I said, move it to another machine first. But either way, you no longer have full control of your own motherboard, and typically you throw away the motherboard, buy a new one. If it's a desktop motherboard, you can pull the processor out, right? You can swap RAM, you can do a lot of things like that, so you're only wasting the money for a new motherboard, maybe $100, $200 at most. If it's a server, a lot more than that. Server motherboards would be $500 even or more. If it's a laptop, the processor is usually soldered to the board. And now you're looking at, the laptop is good for parts. It's good for a screen, a keyboard, hard drive, memory, and everything else gets thrown away. And given how tedious taking these laptops apart is, it's almost not even worth it. Which is kind of good. I have mixed feelings about this because I'm very concerned about e-waste. I hate to see good hardware sit on a shelf and then have to be disposed of because recycling is not done 100%. It's a big problem in the environment, so that weighs on me. But at the same time, I really hate when a thief benefits from their theft. It makes me happy when a thief thinks they got a laptop and now it's a brick and they can't do anything with it. So I like that. So you can see both sides of the issue here. But if you're the one with a laptop and it's locked and you can't get in there, try one of these sites or try eBay. There are places out there. Some of them do work. Some of them are scams. So make sure that you're spending a small enough amount of money that you're willing to risk it. And that's pretty much it. Hopefully I helped out, and we'll see you all in the next video. And as always, we're happy to take requests and comments. You can, go to our website and send an email to us, fill out our form. It's great for ideas for us. So thanks a lot, Isaac, and have a good one, everyone.
Thanks for watching. We hope this video has provided valuable information to you. Be sure to share this video with other small business owners to spread the word about the importance of cybersecurity. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. If you want more information about cybersecurity, visit us at www.cybervenger.com.